What's up guys, Frankie here. Welcome to The Money Resolution, where we resolve to get good with money. We talk all things save money, make money, get out of debt. And today we're gonna focus on the first one, which is saving money. Before we can even talk about saving money, we need to make sure that we're out of debt. I think that definitely should be prioritized first. And if you want to know more about how to pay off debt, specifically credit card debt, I did talk about that in my last video, which I'll link to here. You need to figure out where those go. Before you save money, you need to think about your why. So some might call this a goal, but I really just want you to think about what is it that you're saving for, how much are you gonna need, and work backwards from there when you think about how long you have until you need it. So there's a lot of reasons to save money. You could be saving for retirement, is an obvious one that we should all be working on. You could be saving for a really big purchase like a down payment on a house. You also just might be saving for something really small that you think you really want, like that new iPhone. And that's okay. If your goal is to get that next new iPhone or a fancy Tesla that you probably don't need, what's really cool and powerful about saving money is sometimes I find that when you save enough money to buy the thing that you're really excited about, by the time you have that money and that momentum going, you find yourself less excited to buy the thing and more excited to just continue to save money. And either way, you're developing really good money habits, which is great. Other important things to be thinking about saving for is that emergency fund. And no matter what you think you need for your emergency fund, I highly recommend you double that number. And then there's other fun stuff like vacations. Maybe you're saving for many of these things at one time. Make sure that you're tracking how you're doing towards each of your goals or each of your whys. It's really important that you start by tracking your spending and trying to get your spending under control, and again, tackling that debt before we're really aggressively saving our money. That's a lot of caveats. You're just here to know the tips, so let's jump right into them. Okay, so tip number one when it comes to saving money is to not lose sight of your goal, and I mean this actually literally. So I think it's really fun to remind yourself what you're working towards, and a couple of quick ways you could do this is to change the background, for example, on your desktop wallpaper or your phone. If it's that beach vacation, you could use a scenic photo you find on the internet of that beach that you're looking to visit on your next vacation. The other thing you could do if you're really creative and savvy is to print a picture of that goal on your credit card. So some credit cards will let you customize it. It would be really cool that every time you go to swipe that credit card, you see your goal in your hand and you might think twice about that purchase. Tip number two, when it comes to saving more money, try to take a money saving challenge. Now, I actually found that the best way to find these challenges out there is through a quick search on Pinterest. Just type in money saving challenges and you'll get a lot of images that walk you through it step by step. Actually, now that I think about it, there's probably an app for this that'll help you out. But the whole concept here is that every day or every week, you save a certain amount of money. You could literally start with $1 in week 1, $2 in week 2, $3 in week 3, and that would get you to, you know what, I'm gonna need an Excel doc for that. I'll put it right here. That's not bad, but some of them are just totally random, which I actually like those ones a little bit more, because if you're starting a money saving challenge at the beginning of the year as part of your money resolution, by the end of the year, you're gonna be saving the most amount of money. And sometimes it's really difficult when it comes to the holidays. So just one thing to think about with these money saving challenges. But again, these are really cool because some people just need instructions, like following a recipe when you're cooking a meal. This money saving challenge is gonna be the recipe you need. Someone is just telling you via one of these charts exactly what you should be saving each week to get to your goal. Saving more money tip number 3 works really well if you have a partner or you're in a relationship, maybe a marriage or where you're living together and splitting bills. And the idea here is to save one of your incomes and spend the other. In a perfect world, you could live off the lower income of the two of you, and this is gonna take a lot of hard work and thinking and communicating and patience, but if you can do that and save one entire paycheck, you're essentially saving half, possibly more than half of your household income. And that is just like, seriously, a game changer. This might require extreme frugality in the works, but with a little bit of education and support, you could totally pull this off. In fact, those that believe in the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early, are doing such a thing, saving 50 to 70% of their household income. And wouldn't it be nice to retire at like 40 years old. Tip number 4 for saving money is actually kind of 2 cash tips in one. One of them is to try out the envelope method. And so if you're a person that likes to use cash or you're interested in doing this, what you do is you budget for all of your expenses for a week. You pull that out at the beginning of the week. You literally put it in labeled envelopes. So you might have your groceries in one envelope, your bill in the other, and your fun money in the other one. That should be your smallest. And you stick to that. You only spend the cash that's in the envelope on those certain categories. Now, the other one when it comes to cash is more of a psychological trick. This is to actually keep larger bills. So if you're the kind of person that likes to keep cash on you, if you have 1s and 5s, you're gonna be more likely to spend that without thinking on splurge purchases. Versus if you have something like a $50 bill or a $100 bill, studies have shown, at least according to the internet, that you're less likely to spend money when you're breaking a really large bill. So spending less money is a really great way to save money, and this is one method to kind of trick yourself to spend less. I found this, the closest thing I own to a piggy bank in my bedroom, and it's all dusty and it doesn't really work anymore, I don't think. Nope. AAA. Wait, I might have some AAA. I think it plays like the fight song or something. Let me know in the comments below if you still use the traditional piggy bank to save your change. Let's try this out. Apparently that doesn't work. You know what? There's no speaker. I think I made that up in my head. I don't think this ever played music. Oh well, go dogs. Tip number 5, is that loud? Tip number 5 is to keep your savings out of sight and out of mind. Now, one way you can do this is what I do, which is to have a separate savings account towards my goals with an online-only high-interest savings account. And I actually put together a video where I talked about the best that I recommend, and I show you step-by-step how to open one and talk about the benefits of doing so. And what's really cool is you can layer in automation as well. So every time you get paid or the first of the month or whatever you decide to do, you can have some money automatically deposited into this separate savings account. And to be honest, I don't even look at this maybe once or twice a month. I have a sense of what's in there. I get email updates sometimes, but otherwise it is out of sight, out of mind, and it is growing every single day with high earnings interest. Okay, I actually mentioned this next tip, tip number 6, in my last video a little bit, and this is to reward yourself and to save that money. So next time you resist one of those purchases you're thinking about, I want you to think that in that moment that you almost bought the thing, you were willing to part with that money. So pretend that you spent that money and instead move that exact amount of money as a reward for not spending it into your savings. I actually learned this tip from the ice skater Adam Rippon. He was on I think a CNBC video that I'll link below in the description, where he talked about his secret savings hack is to reward himself whenever he doesn't make a purchase. Just thought that was really cool. So you say no to takeout dinner, put $10 in this savings account. If you pass on that mink coat, I don't even know what a mink coat is, put that money in your savings account. What are those, like 200? 500, 1,000, whatever. Number 7 is to set your goal and automate your way to this. A couple of good resources that I use for automations for my savings are my acorns, and so this is automatically rounding up every time I use my credit card or my debit card. I don't really use my debit card, so my credit card, it rounds up to the nearest dollar. You can also 2x or 3x or I think even 4x this. I also set up that anytime I spend a $0 ending amount, it'll actually add one whole dollar instead of no pennies. So this is helping me with my personal IRA account through Acorns. I also have an IRA account that I automatically deposit into through Betterment. So this is a robo-advisor online. Another great one that a lot of people love is Wealthfront. So these are just a couple of tools to help you automate your way towards your savings. Number 8 is to bank 100% of a windfall. So it doesn't matter if this is your tax return or some kind of bonus that you got through work. No matter what, next time you get a windfall of some sort, money out of nowhere, make sure you put 100% of that into your savings. I know it's gonna feel tough, but just pretend you never even got it. And also, speaking of tax returns, one thing I did this last year that I didn't realize you could do was I deferred a certain portion of that to next year. And so if I end up owing taxes or something like that next year, I have the tax return money from this year that will help me cover that. So that's just something to think about come tax season. And this is another way to put something out of sight, out of mind. If it weren't for recording this video, I might have forgot that I did that. Number 9 is not really a concrete step, but I have to say this during a savings video, which is to pay yourself first. You really, really, really must prioritize yourself, your savings, and your goals, and your debt, if you have any of that. Those are the most important things to be thinking about. Until you prioritize yourself, you are letting somebody else make decisions with your money. I'm not saying don't go pay your bills and your essentials, but I like to live uncomfortably. When I look at my checking account at any given time, it literally only has a couple of $100s in it. And that's because everything is being automated throughout the month and as I get paid. And so I never look at my bank account and see that I have $5,000 or $6,000 or anything like that. Every time I check my normal bank account, I only see a couple $100s in there because I'm prioritizing paying myself first and living a little bit uncomfortably day to day. Living uncomfortably and paying yourself first is what is going to allow you to say no to that splurge purchase or that sale and help you put your credit card away, especially because that credit card has a picture of your goal on it. I'm kind of nerding out right now, can you tell? So number 10, this one is very concrete, but this one only applies to those of you that get paid bi-weekly like I do. If you get paid bi-weekly, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get 26 paychecks. Therefore, twice a month, you are going to get 3 paychecks. So a little trick that I do is when I'm in one of those 3 paycheck months is I take that third paycheck, I act like I never got it, and I put 100% of that paycheck in savings towards my goals. Plan and budget as if you're only getting 24 payments, as if you're getting paid twice a month, but instead you take that third and you put that into savings. Now again, if you have any debt, this is also a really awesome strategy to jumpstart your debt payoff, which is to take that third paycheck and put 100% of it towards debt. Again, I need to end with this. Prioritize getting out of debt. You must get out of your bad consumer debt first before you're saving. But once you have done that, prioritizing your savings and paying yourself first is really, really powerful and can be, in some cases, even life-changing. Whew. I'm tired. That is 10 ways to save money faster. I hope one of these or more than one of these really resonated and spoke to you. And I hope this is gonna help you prioritize your money, yourself, and achieve your goals more quickly. Well, I just spilled a drink all over my desk, so I think that's the end of this video. Thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for checking out the channel. Be sure to like, subscribe down below. I put out videos once a week-ish on all things personal finance. Check out the book on Amazon. Check out the website, themoneyresolution.com. I appreciate your time, and as always, I will talk to you soon. Thanks. What have I done? Click on one of those videos. It's more fun than watching me clean. Or that one. I got change all over. I got wet bills.